everyone, and welcome to the G1 Climax 33 Night 15. I am your host, Chris Cortez. Welcome to Chris's Chaos. David Finlay has made it to the playoffs. He is now 10 points in. He defeats Eddie Kingston. And your boy, Evil, somehow musters a victory over Shingo Takagi. My God, is he ruthless? I love him. I love him. Evil's going to the playoffs. Man, was this a good night? So we've got one more finals, one more block finals, D block, and we're gonna definitely talk about that. But man, this was a great show, great card. Small, four matches. Four. Obviously, there were some tag matches, but which we will talk about. Um, I watched a little bit of the tag matches that were leading up to the show. They were fine. They were little build ups, nice little previews before we get to D block, which will be should be tomorrow. Yeah, will be tomorrow, and then we'll go right into the playoffs, this quarterfinals. So let's just talk about these matches though. As expected, Ishii versus Nicholls. Okay, Tomohiro Ishii, he comes through with the victory, gets his points back up. I was expecting this to be a slugfest, and it was. So great match. It was a great match. Got to give it to Ishii and Nicholls. Then you got Tama Tonga versus Henare, which was such a hard fought match, and it was all for naught. I mean, Tonga. I mean, and they even said if Shingo and Evil, if Shingo wins, he would have this one more bonus match, kind of like a sudden death match between Tonga and Takagi. But it was all for naught. It did not happen. Okay, not when you got Evil dealing with in this situation. But it was a great match. Tonga versus Henare. Probably the match of the night. Kingston versus David Finlay. Okay, you had a lot of just hard hitting, a little bit of distractions here and there, but mostly just Finlay and Kingston beating the shit out of each other. And Finlay wins. He is the winner of the C block. So he is going to face Will Ospreay. Okay, in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, you got your boy Evil, okay, who is going to face Sonata. Okay, that'll be one hell of a match. Um, and it was a great match, but just a lot of distractions, a lot of crazy shit going on with the House of Torture. A couple of LAJ members came in to try to help. They probably should have came a little bit sooner, and there probably should have been more of them. Where was Naito? He didn't show up. Maybe he had to keep himself fresh for tomorrow. But man, Takagi did his best. Um, so if Sonata's smart, he'll have most of his five guys, the other four guys and just five guys helping him out, so that Evil and his henchmen do not try to steal another victory off your IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So we're gonna go into all these matches. Talk a little bit about the first five matches, but just to let you know, please hit that subscribe button if you're interested in watching my videos. Please hit the like button if you enjoy them. Please catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Channel Cortez 33. Okay. Was watching another YouTube video. I believe it is the Ranting Review. Okay, pro wrestling. The guy, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he covers G1. He's just one of the few, and a lot of the stuff that he covered the A block and B block, and a lot of things that I talked about with Hikuleo being a big surprise. A lot of us were going for Kaito Kiyomiya, and just how great ELP versus Will Ospreay was. We're all kind of on the same page here. That you got to go back and watch ELP versus Will Ospreay. It was definitely one hell of a match. Might have been the match of the week. I mean, I'm talking when you look at SummerSlam and all these other cards that have been going on. It was probably the match of the week. ELP versus Will Ospreay. So I say it again. Go check it out. But yeah, we are gonna go right into this night. Okay, night 15. First match though, just Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa versus Jeff Cobb and Great Khan. Khan and Cobb looking strong here. Okay, Cobb hits the spin cycle, before getting this high tag where Khan comes in and hits the eliminator on Oiwa and wins. I mean, I'm not going to cover these matches in depth. They're just little matches that clearly you got Jeff Cobb, okay, who's going to go after the victory here in night for night 16 for the D block finals. Jeff Cobb's taking on Shane Haste, who also got a victory today with TMDK, but we'll get into that real quick. Second match, Gabe Kidd and Alex Coughlin versus Toriano and it was Toriano and Tomoaki Hanma, yeah. Kidd and Coughlin just beat the crap out of these guys. Even before they could even get to the ring, they started attacking them. Did Coughlin and Kidd just, Hanma with a couple falling headbutts like he likes to do. Kidd pushes down the ref so that he could deliver the closed fist and pin victory. Kidd and Coughlin win. Just beat down on Yano to soften him up for tomorrow's D block match. Yeah, I feel bad for Toriano. I'm looking at the card now. And Alex Coughlin. I don't know. Maybe Yano will get a victory, after this beatdown. Maybe they're setting him up to win. That's how it goes, at least in the WWE, but this is not the WWE. So, we've got third match, Hikuleo, Jado, Shota Umino tagging with Hikuleo after the match they had versus Ren Narita, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki. Was not looking, the chances were not looking good for the Hikuleo, Jado, and Shota Umino side, okay? When you're looking at the opposite end of a Narita, a Desperado, and a Minoru Suzuki. So Narita applies a Cobra Twist on Jado, okay, of all people, for the victory. Easy win. Shoving contest between Umino and Narita. These two are going to fight for a very long time. Kosei Fujita, Shane Haste, and Zack Sabre Jr. with Mikey Nicholls versus Yo Hiroku Goto and this guy Oscar Lube. Not too familiar with this guy. Looked young, looks green. Not sure why Haste would be in this match. I mean, I get it. It's going to be Goto versus Sabre. But again, Haste could have probably used a break here. But, I mean, good to see Yo back out. Shane Haste drops Oscar Lube with a sit-down powerbomb, and gets the pinfall. Sabre and Goto in the ring is like they're head-to-head. Just bell keeps ringing, trying to keep these two apart, but eventually Sabre's out of the ring. Their match is tomorrow night, so should be a good one. Should be a very good one. I was hoping to see Goto with Yoshihashi. I mean, they're the tag champs. But oh well. Then we got the C match. Then we got fifth match. Master Wato, Togi Makabe, and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Bushi, Yoda, Tsuji, and Tetsuya Naito. So Yoda hits Makabe with a spear. Just takes it to him with his combinations, wins. Meanwhile, Naito applies on the outside, is applying the sharpshooter for Tanahashi. So expect him to attack Tanahashi's leg. Also setting up for a very good possibility that Tanahashi will win, will come out the victor. So it's kind of sad, but it's what's probably going to happen. So let's get into the C block matches. Okay. Now, I was not expecting. I wanted Evil to kind of win this, but I was not expecting him. I was still expecting, Tama Tonga to somehow get in, and it was looking like he was going to be the guy. Like they were really giving us hints that Tama Tonga was going to have a bonus match and was going to get in. And the match he had tonight just kind of really sealed the deal for him to be like, get him an appropriate spot, but. Of all the brothers, it's Hikuleo, the youngest, that gets into this playoff picture. Full of surprises, this G1. So let's get into first C block match. Tomohiro Ishii versus Mikey Nicholls. Bell sounds and they're just pushing and striking each other. Nicholls goes to the gut with the knee, sending Ishii outside. They continue to fight outside. Nicholls is sent to the barricade, but fires back with a clothesline, sending Ishii onto the floor. Back in the ring, Nicholls is in control with the attack and a pin attempt. He then wrenches the neck and face, bites Ishii for a good measure. Both back up. Ishii chops as Nicholls maintains control with his offense. Nicholls goes for a suplex, but Ishii just blocks it. Nicholls strikes, but still Ishii pulls out the suplex, chops, and strikes to Nicholls in the corner. Marty Asami has to try to get in between the two. Ishii is not looking too happy about it. Nicholls back up, reverses, chopping Ishii in the corner, but Ishii right back with a shoulder tackle. Kick to the back of Nicholls. Forearms exchange. Big chop to the face of Ishii, sending him down. And then blood is kind of coming out of the forehead of Nicholls. Sends Ishii to the corner. A few more reversals before Nicholls hits DDT's Ishii. Nicholls goes for the pin attempt, almost 3. 5 minutes have passed. Suplex by Nicholls, vertical suplex for 12 seconds. Okay, hang time. Another pin attempt, another kick out. Nicholls for the driver, gets blocked. More attacks dodged before Ishii hits the back suplex. Both are down as the crowd is clapping. Both up. Nicholls forearms, and Ishii returns with a forearm, runs the ropes, but gets caught. Nicholls' Death Valley bomb. Ishii placed on the turnbuckle, and Nicholls delivers the superplex. Pin attempt again, almost 3. He sits on up. He sits up Ishii for a running uppercut forearm. Misses Nicholls. Okay, but does not miss the tornado DDT. And another Death Valley driver. Then the sliding lariat, pin attempt, still only 2. So Nicholls then sets up for the Mikey bomb, and it's avoided. Ishii hits that dragon suplex, clothesline by Nicholls, but then one from Ishii, then another from Nicholls, and one more from Ishii. Pin attempt, sliding lariat ducked by Nicholls, who hits the enziguri, forearm by Nicholls, and Ishii hits the enziguri. Just trading shots here. Sliding lariat by Ishii, then a pin attempt. Ishii's fired up, goes for that vertical brain buster, counter to the Master Blaster by Nicholls, then a moonsault, pin attempt, almost 3. Master Blaster countered, goes for it again. Strikes exchange, then the lariat, and Ishii's vertical drop brain buster for the victory. So both end their performance, their G1 performance, the 2-5 record, 4 points each. That's what I expected. He gave the nod to Henare. I didn't see him giving the nod to Nicholls. Not that Nicholls, didn't perform great. Great performer. Nothing to be ashamed of. They both had their spots, throughout this G1. To both, Nicholls is a bright future as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, just a hard-hitting match. A lot of, kind of shot for shot, and wasn't really, wasn't really nothing I wasn't expecting. So was impressed with the moves and everything and the effort. But that being said, we move forward. Okay, second match, C block. Second C block match: Tama Tonga versus Aaron Henare. Right into it. Henare 2-4, 4 points. Tonga's 3-2-1, 7 points. Okay, much like Shingo Takagi. Bell sounds. They circle the ring. Quick lockup to the headlock by Tonga. Pushed to the ropes by Henare. Lariat ducked and 2 arm drags by Tonga. More running of the ropes into a backdrop by Tonga. Double axe handles by Tonga, who then gets lifted but avoids, shoves Henare into the corner. But an elbow and a kick from the top by Henare slows things down. Henare, snapmare, kick and a senton to Tonga. So he's been in control at this point. He then removes the top corner pad. It's a little out of the ordinary of Henare, but what he does is he puts Tama Tonga into between the ropes and essentially a running knee strike right into the pin attempt. So it wasn't really about hitting Tonga into the exposed turnbuckles, but rather giving him enough space to trap Tonga in between the ropes. Henare telling Tonga to bring it as Tonga starts hitting the gut, but Henare just hammers down. Tonga strikes back, heavy back fist by Henare. Then Tonga gets a drop kick and stiff shots to Henare in the corner. Reverse Irish whip by Henare, but Tonga right back with a lariat. Then that stinger splash to Henare in the corner, followed by a Northern Lights suplex and a pin attempt. Tonga hammering down on Henare, forearms exchange, elbows by Henare, enziguri by Tonga. Then that SRC delivered. Okay, Tonga goes to the top. Somehow decides, hey, I want to go to the other top. Gives Henare the time to, recollect himself and just hit that enziguri. Tonga's thrown back, is outside, gets thrown back in the ring. Henare with sharp kicks to Tonga's chest. The guy hits hard, okay, when he wants to. Um, Henare hits the Berserker and another pin attempt. A swinging DDT by Tonga, though, counters Henare's attack and a pin attempt by Tonga. Tonga twist, followed by Supreme Flow. Look good. Okay, pin attempt, only two. Tonga goes for a gun stun, but Henare hits the pop up valley drop. Strikes and a shotgun striking knee by Henare. Right? Going for Ultima, but Tonga fights it off. So Henare with the knee shot in the corner. Then he does get an Ultima applied. Tonga gets free and hits the gun stun and near fall. Tries to hit another gun stun, but Henare blocks like three of them. Okay, he kept going for that damn gun stun. The last one though turned into like a Uranagi by Henare. Henare then hits Rampage. He goes for Streets of Rage, but gets blocked, followed by Superman Punch. Hmm? And the DSD. Okay, for the victory. Tonga's now 9 points. Superman Punch, man, that got me really. He even called it. Kelly was like Superman Punch. I'm like, who is this? Roman Reigns? I mean, this guy could very well be the Roman Reigns if he wanted to of New Japan of AEW. I mean, this guy is such a future. There's no telling what's going to happen with Tama Tonga. Um, but one thing I was so sure of was that he was going to at least make the playoffs, but he didn't. He's at 9 points. Ended really on a high mark, but yeah, it was out of his hands. So just to let you know, this show was held at the Yokohama Budokan Arena in Yokohama, Japan. Um, and it was I want to say it was about it has a capacity of 3,000 people, and those that's not a lot of people, but 3,000 when they're charged like the way they were tonight, it makes a difference. So it was a good crowd reaction. So when I say the crowd was clapping, I mean they were charged. Okay, so it was a really great atmosphere. Um, but let's move forward, okay? And we've got third C block match of the night right here, okay? Just because of how definitive it was, not as much distraction, and not to say that the fourth match wasn't very entertaining, but this was the definitive match of the night. Eddie Kingston, David Finlay. Mm-hmm. Joe Steeler. Eddie comes out wearing a bandana on his face. At this point, he's 4-2 with 8 points. So is Finlay. So whoever wins, they're going to win the C block. That's it. Bell rings, and then they eventually lock up. Quick break along the ropes. Kingston says, come on. After the quick break, he's just like, let's go, let's go. Another lockup advantage Finlay, who refuses to clean break. Chops Eddie, who just fires back, gets on top of Finlay and starts chopping him down. Then to the outside, a really hard chop to Finlay. Finlay's like, oh my God. Then sent to the barricades, followed by another chop by Kingston. Finlay sent again to the barricade. Finlay runs into Kingston, who tries to suplex him but gets reversed. Finlay back in the ring. Kingston back in at 9 seconds after that suplex. Gets stomped on. So at the very beginning, Kingston was in control. But once he got suplexed, it really was mostly Finlay. Finlay sends him back outside, rams him into the barricade, more strikes, rakes the face. Finlay rams Kingston into the corner post. Gato's loving every minute of it. Kingston back in at 12 seconds this time. Finlay more kicks and strikes, but Kingston chops back. Finlay Irish whips Kingston into the corner, then more attacks to the back of Kingston. Finlay connects with a forearm uppercut and a backbreaker pin attempt. Finlay applies the camel clutch. Kingston makes it to the bottom rope for the break after 5 seconds. Finlay finally lets go. Hard chop by Eddie. Finlay hits the DDT. Finlay goes for a sliding lariat. Eddie ducks and hits a lariat of his own. Story goes, Finlay probably was straight up, I'm going to knock your fucking head off. Shouldn't have called a shot because Eddie was aware, ducks, and gets a lariat of his own. So Eddie hits his machine gun chops. I think he calls it like a cobalt. He shouts out cobalt or something like that, but he starts chopping it like 100 times. Is what he does in the corner these days. Kingston hits the exploder after Finlay tries to fight it off. Eddie for a back suplex. Finlay falls on him for a pin attempt. Eddie gets the back suplex though on the second attempt, near fall, and then goes for like a half hatch. Looked like blocked by Finlay, who then hits the Irish Curse. Really cool move. Kind of a Uranagi backbreaker. Running uppercut by Finlay, then another Irish curse and a pin attempt. Then the sliding lariat, another near fall. Finlay stands up Kingston, who chops, kicks, but gets struck out of the ring. Finlay lifts Kingston, rams Kingston's skull right into the corner post. Okay, he has him overhead and just kind of throws him head first into that corner post. Eddie sells the hell out of that spot. Okay, his eyes are bug-eyed. He looks like he's got something like a concussion. Kingston really sells that little moment. Finlay tells Red Shoes, start the count, it's over. Kingston back in at 19 seconds. Finlay goes for a lariat, gets hit with the tiger suplex. Then the back fist to Finlay. Really looks like that could have been it. Very close, but Finlay does get up after like a 2.7 count. Second strap goes down for Kingston. Okay, he's ready to go. Goes for a northern suplex. Northern Lights, it's blocked. Chop, back fist. Finlay's just fighting everything off at the same time. Another back fist, suplex. Eddie Kingston tries to get to the rope. It's one, it's two. Foot on the rope by Finlay. Gato's telling Finlay to wake the fuck up. Okay, exact words. Eddie one more time. Counters into oblivion by Finlay. Both are still down. Less than 5 minutes to go. They come to. They're striking each other as they get to their feet. Headbutts, chops, back fist by Finlay blocked. Roaring fist by Finlay connects. A spear by Finlay. They were just really striking each other here, but Finlay's ducking and dodging everything that Kingston's really trying to hit, like the back fist. And after that spear, you kind of knew it was over. There was another pin attempt, and then he hits into oblivion for the 1, 2, 3. Finlay makes the playoffs 10 points. He was one of my top picks to make it. I wish that Tonga would have won, just because I think that's. I mean, so far. I mean, it's really like, A block. Obviously, everybody's expecting Sonata, but not Hikuleo. We got the B block where it was, Okada and Ospreay are the favorites. So I would have liked to have seen Tonga, but Finlay was another one. So Finlay's now in that. So we have about 4 out of the 6 spots so far that I expected to make it. And I'm expecting either Cobb, Sabre, or Naito. Obviously, these are your only 3 possible entries. We'll see what happens, because there's no telling what might happen tomorrow. But yeah, this was the match of the night. Finlay versus Will Ospreay. It was already set that that will be the match. So I do not think that Finlay's going to beat Will Ospreay, but stranger things may happen or have happened. But definitely Ospreay is going to be my favorite in that match. So let me take a little quick break. All right, got my drink and ready for the 4th match. C block, moving right in. I knew this would be a short review, but let's try to keep it under 25, 30 minutes. 4th C blocks match: Shingo Takagi versus Evil. A win, or they make an announcement in Japanese that a win or a draw, Evil can makes it to the playoffs if he wins. But a draw kind of screws things up, because if you had a draw, it would have been he would have been tied technically with Tama Tonga. If Shingo wins, okay. However, Takagi would be at 9, definitely tied with Tama Tonga. There would be a face-off between. There'd be a bonus match with no time limit between the two to see who would go to the playoffs, and that's it. So I was, the commentators and I were all kind of in for it, for that to happen. That would have been a hell of a way to end this night. Before the bell, Evil attacks, chokes Takagi with a shirt. Before Takagi can even take off his robe, bell finally rings in a pin attempt by Evil. And then they point out that there are no time limits in the playoffs, which makes a lot of sense. And that, if there was going to be a bonus match, it would be no time limit, because we'd have to have a winner. So, shoulder tackle by Takagi, forearms by Takagi to Evil in the corner, a double axe handle, then knee to Evil's gut, and again Irish whip and the knee to the gut. Takagi distracted by Dick Togo, and Evil gets him outside. Evil eventually rams Takagi into the barricade, knocking out the timekeeper and the desk. It was so funny because Takagi 2 times was trying to avoid the timekeeper as he was falling closer to the barricade. But this time, Evil just rams Takagi into the barricade, knocking the table completely off, knocking the timekeeper on his ass. It was great. Um, so Evil then attacks with the clippers. He is just adamant about shaving the head of Shingo Takagi. Sends Takagi outside to Togo where he distracts Red. Chops by Evil. Takagi fired up, tells Evil some more, but Evil goes to the eyes. Takagi back with a chop and a DDT, shoulder tackle, body slam, and the senton. Then the suplex delivered by Takagi into a pin attempt. Shingo calls out to the camera almost, but before he can finish the statement, Evil strikes him. This is not like anybody that Shingo has ever faced. Evil strikes and puts his feet on the head of Shingo. And yes, they've actually obviously had some matches in the past, but this is just, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me or anyone else what Evil is capable of. Takagi tries to kick, gets blocked, but he does hit the Noshigami and the sliding lariat, and then does call out to the camera. And Takahashi and Sho are outside now, okay, from HOT, House of Torture. They're just, something's up. Takagi goes for Made in Japan. It's blocked, but not the hammer that he strikes. Gets kicked in the corner, then runs into the exposed turnbuckles. So his back takes most of that impact. Clothesline, then the suplex by Evil. Pin attempt. Evil throws Shingo outside to where the rest of House of Torture is just stomping the hell out of Shingo. This is just sad. Okay, Shingo back in the ring where Evil applies the Dark Scorpion Deathlock. Takagi makes it to the ropes. Darkness falls on Shingo. Near fall. 10 minutes left. Takahashi distracts the ref, but Takagi hits the Magic Killer, okay, on Evil. So Evil had Shingo Takagi up for the Magic Killer with the help of Togo, and somehow Takagi reverses it and uses Togo's shoulders as leverage. It was great. Sho at one point gets thrown off the apron, so that was nice. Then the lariat and Made in Japan for the very, very close near fall. The crowd is charged with Shingo. Okay, Shingo really knows how to fire up the crowd. Evil then grabs the hair. Shingo with a clothesline, then forearms, but Evil throws him to the exposed turnbuckles again. Goes for everything as Evil, but countered to the last dragon. Ref is then pulled out. Dick Togo counts Sho. This is when things get so ridiculous. Dick Togo comes in, counts the 1, 2, 3 to make Shingo think that he's won. Not only that, you got Sho somewhere hitting the bell to make it even more realistic, okay? And Shingo is confused as then LIJ, the Ungovernables come in, Suji and Bushi come out to help fight off the House of Torture, who is getting so involved. They should have came sooner. If anything, House of Torture, when dealing with these guys, they should have came out with Takagi. Okay, the LIJ should have been with them to support their guy against House of Torture. So, Sho chair shot to the head of Shingo, then hits shock arrow. Hiromu, as if it wasn't already like enough. Red Shoes is about to count out Takagi as Hiromu Takahashi comes out of nowhere, takes Red Shoes out. Good to see him. Super kick Sho, Bushi, and Bushi takes out Takahashi. Okay. Suji goes for Togo. Somehow he's unable to get Dick Togo out, but Shingo clotheslines Evil and Dick. Suji moonsault over the rest of House of Torture. Shingo with a massive lariat. Red Shoes in the ring. They are beating the hell out of each other as Evil and Shingo finally just one-on-one here. Okay, after all the craziness that has been going on, all the chaos. Headbutt by Shingo. Low blow by Evil. Then hits everything as Evil. It's over for the victory. Really kind of underwhelming at the very end when when he just kind of hit that low blow and hit everything as Evil. It should have. I think that Shingo should have won the way they were building it, but it's Evil. So as if you're not already pissed off at Evil, you got to be definitely pissed off at Evil. How can you not? He is the guy you love to hate. Is Evil. He's your boy. But yeah, it was a fun show. Evil then gets on the mic. He wants to shave Shingo's head. Okay, he's just like, Lij gets Shingo out before he could shave his head. He calls. He says, "Hey, anytime you want, I'll shave your head. I'll beat you and I'll shave your head." He's adamant about shaving that head. He then calls out to the crowd, calling himself Mr. G1. Yeah, there's the announcement that he faces Sonata. He tells the champ, hey, to know his place. Uh, then he goes to the back. So at this point, Evil is 5-2, 10 points. So technically, he is tied with Finlay, but I guess you could say he is the runner up, as he did lose to Finlay. So that makes sense that he's the runner up. So he's going up against the top seed. In the back, though, he says the only reason why Sonata is champ is because he has not faced me. This is just a stepping stone for me, as Sonata, to get up to winning the G1. For the D block, winner takes on Hikuleo, and runner up faces Okada. So we essentially have all the matches lined up for the playoffs after this next night. I'm looking at just taking a quick look. It's going to be Jeff Cobb, Zack Sabre, Tetsuya Naito. If there's any kind of a draw, one of these guys is going to face Okada. Okay, the guy who wins this block is facing Hikuleo. So I don't want to get too much into playoffs and be like, oh well, who's going to beat who? But I would like to think that. But there's so many options. Like if Hikuleo faces the winner of this D block, could Hikuleo win? Sure. I don't think Okada's going to lose. So whoever wins this D block, whoever loses or is the runner up for this D block goes up against Okada and is probably going to lose. Whoever faces Hikuleo might win, but it's going to be a close call. Sonata, I don't see losing anytime soon. I don't see Ospreay winning or losing. So I see Evil and Finlay losing, but it would be crazy if Finlay beat Ospreay. That would change everything. That would make me think that Finlay was going to win this whole thing, but stranger things have happened. So yeah, great little night. We got tomorrow to look forward to. We don't know what's coming after, what's going to happen. But I will say that, Toru Yano may win. I do think Jeff Cobb's going to win. I think that Sabre's going to win. I think Tanahashi's going to win. So that's that. That would mean that Zack Sabre would win the D block. And do I think he could beat Hikuleo? Absolutely. Jeff Cobb. Yeah, that'd be a crazy one if he could beat Okada. So the playoffs are only going to be that much more exciting. I cannot wait. And I hope Naito wins, but we don't know. So on that note, yeah, it's been great. I will probably watch a little more of. I didn't actually finish all of Monday Night Raw. What it's my understanding is that Shinsuke Nakamura is supposed to win or face Seth Rollins at Payback. That would be great. Hey, maybe they got my one little detour before the storm clip where I talked about how Shinsuke should definitely have been a world champion by now in WWE. Yeah. So if you like my review, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Okay. Trying to get up there in subscriptions and as well as get more likes. Okay. I got plenty of views, but I need more likes. So please give me some feedback in the comment section. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Okay. With the night 16 with the D block. Okay. So on that note, you guys have a great night and I'll see you next time. Bye.